Of Moss on Sunday is called the Impact Session. The reason why it's called the Impact Session, we're going to go live with these participants, and we're going to transform their lives in the short few minutes that we're together. Okay, for those who are watching, if you are, yeah, I'll be working on you as well. Okay? If you get into a state, and we'll guide you into that deep state. I know it sounds kind of crazy. It sounds kind of woo. It's really not. It's just straight out, say, science. It's pretty amazing. Exponential intelligence, as I call it, or as I've dubbed as timeless knowledge or technology. It is a technology. It's the fastest way to transform your life. It's the fastest way to transform humanity, actually. And this is where we get better results with our technology, with AI especially. This is where we get better results with, our relationships. This is where money doesn't damage us. This is where spirituality doesn't damage us. Because no matter if you've noticed, look around you. There's a lot of people that are happy, but then they could be more happier without the sacrifice. There's a lot of people who aren't happy. There's a ton of people that aren't happy. They're spiritually inclined. They've got a hell of a lot of money. In fact, I've got a lot of clients. They've got a hell of a lot of money and so on like that. I work with a lot of high profile people, and they go, "Hey, Moss, what's missing in my life?" Right? There's an emptiness. Everybody is knowing and understanding that there's an emptiness. Even the people who are, say, controlling this world, they start to see that there's an emptiness. Hence, in the as predicted, well, you start to see that they demand more and more and more control, whether it's at that top level of human societies, or even maybe at your personal level. Right, that person that has controlled you, well, they're trying to control you more, or seduce you more, or make you feel guilty more. How many of you have felt that in the past, say, month or so? More and more control coming up. So it's just kind of crazy, and it's a good thing. Okay, I call it detox for the world. It's a sign that, well, people are losing control. The truth is really coming out. You can't hide your lies, again, whether it's at a high level, and that's why you see a lot of garbage coming out, or fortunately a lot of people dying who's exposing the truth on those things. And then also at a personal level, right? You just can't justify your bullshit. Simple as that. And it's a good thing. Those people who are, say, exponentially intelligent, you're way ahead of the game. It allows you to, say, clear away, generational patterns, distortions, health issues, mindset issues, relationship issues that go way beyond the mind, but it's literally your genetic makeup, as I would say, that changes. And that's what we need, because we need to evolve. Humans just don't evolve. We repeat the past. And we've been repeating the past for quite some time now. And now it's time to catch up with, say, the new concepts, or the new identity of time and space, or the new, say, the universal law that's coming forward. Okay, where humans have just gone way too far off, and now we have to snap back, and that's what we're experiencing throughout the world. And it's pretty intense, and it'll get more intense. But again, those who are on the right side of the frequencies, and it is about frequencies. It's not who you know, it's not how much money you have, it's how awakened you are. And it's not the bullshit woke movement. It literally is how much do you identify with who you are as a human, not as a persona like, well, shit, I'm a mom, I'm a good person, I'm a bad person, I know this political person, I know that I have a lot of money. Those things don't matter. They're it just doesn't matter. It's like, how much of a human are you? Okay. And again, it's got nothing to do with any identity that we've realized before. It's just how much of a human are you? That's all. That's what we're coming into. The original state of humans. Basically, that's what it is. Say like you're a fox, okay, and you're trying to be a squirrel, you're trying to be a lion, you're trying to be all this. You're a fucking fox. That's all you are. Okay. And so we as humans is like, we're human, we're trying to be this and that. Nowadays it's gotten so messed up that people are actually trying to be animals. I don't know if you've heard of the furries, all that stuff was happening in schools. Kind of crazy, right? We're losing our identities, right? We think that we've got money and now we're gods, or I practice a certain spiritual faith and now I'm better than everybody else. No, all that bullshit is coming to an end, and we're starting it out here. We're creating a huge wave that's going forward, and it's transforming the world. It's called the Save. I call it Save the Human Project. And before we get started on this, I just want to talk about that, guys. Save the Human Project. This world is really on edge. We're trying to save the children. We're trying to save the earth, water pollution, air pollution, and all that. It's like, shit, we just save ourselves. Literally, we just save ourselves. If humans disappeared, and I've said this before, if humans disappeared off the face of the planet, and again, that's our choice. It's really not a choice. We either go towards that universal path, or we go, no, we want our choice. Well, we just get eliminated. But anyway, if we disappear, Earth will come back into its natural harmony and balance, I would say, in about less than a year. Simple as that. So we're the problem. Okay? It's not about saving this and saving that. We are the problem. So we, as a human race, really have to just kick our asses and stand up and take control of our lives individually, not blame governments or not blame your parents and not blame all this, but take control and go, shit, you know what, yeah, I got a lot from my parents. My parents abused me, governments abused me, and all that stuff. But then again, if you start to awaken and take natural hold of yourself, the original form that you are, then people will create a tidal wave, and this is where we take back our control, right? In the Bible, by the way, it says the meek shall inherit the earth. Basically, that's all it is, right? People taking control of themselves. And then there's autonomy. It literally becomes the blockchain of humanity, right? Consciousness is the original blockchain. Just like cryptocurrencies, right? It's got a blockchain. Nobody can actually control it because it's controlled by everybody. So, all right, so I'm here in San Diego, close to Coronado, where I used to stay. I just want to show you the background. Quite beautiful. I'm at this hotel. We just finished an event in Del Mar, California. It was really a fantastic event. And a lot of transformations. There's a lot of people that were new to XI, really just got their mind blown on how fast you can transform their lives. Just amazing. So we'll show you little clips of that on YouTube, which is really exciting. Also, let's see, I forgot what I was going to say. Also, we've got some great events coming up as well, so you can experience, say, the live frequencies in London. actually two events in London. One is really cool. One's, quantum jumping, which is going to be really great. And then the other one is a good friend of mine. His name is Baramji. Take a look at him. And if the team can put that on the chat, his name, he's got really beautiful music, guys. And his music comes from, or the words from his music actually come from Rumi's poetry. So he creates music around Rumi's poetry. So him and I were going to get together again, like we did in Ibiza. And Ibiza is going to be a fantastic time as well, where we really start to understand who we are as a woman and a man and really pull in our power. All right. So again, welcome to the impact sessions. We'll go ahead and start in. We'll just jump right in. We'll open up with Beth here, and then we'll go to Morella. But you'll start to see how fast these individuals start to change. Like I said, as I work on you, on these specific individuals, and you're in that zone. So just stay in that zone, guys. Even if you're listening to this as a recording, just take a deep breath in, all of us, and we'll start that space. And some of you might be feeling it already. Take a deep breath in and just notice your surroundings a bit. Notice, say, the sound of my voice coming from, say, a headset or speakers, and then notice any part of your body. Right? Notice any visuals around you that catches your eye, and then notice any part of your body. It doesn't matter, the tip of your nose or, the back of your head, whatever it is, called spatial referencing, something that we do in the 18 days to help you become so present that it allows you to take back your power. And then another breath in. Like I said, even if you're listening to this as a recording, the frequencies are that powerful. It transcends time and space, and it pulls you back. So if you listen to this live or again as a recording, it'll still have the same effect on you. Okay. So again, as I work on these individuals, I'll be working on you as well as a group. And then especially if you have the same patterns, those things can be eliminated. As a note, guys, I don't heal, I don't diagnose, I don't treat, I don't cure, anything like that. So if I tell you all anything physical, please consult a profession or consult your own sense of self. What I can tell you is that there's a ton of people who have cured themselves. The key word is cured themselves. I don't do that. I just awaken your natural healing abilities. And then once you awaken, well, you start to go, shit, that's not right. I'm not supposed to be suffering in any way. We think this world is about suffering. I was listening to Andrew Tate. It's like, this world is about suffering. It's like, no, it's not. We just do it wrong. So, Andrew, you're fucked up, buddy. Nice guy. He's got a lot of great information, guys, but a lot of misinformation within that guy. Right? He's just a very alpha type male man. I don't know why I'm talking about him, but alpha type male man that is highly successful, and he thinks that's the way the world works. There's a lot of women that are maybe not alpha type, but again, have destroyed the world as well. So with that knowledge, there's a total different way to have, say, ethical success without destroying yourself or sacrificing yourself to be abundant or famous. So, and and that's what XI is all about. All right, so let's start with Beth, and then we'll go to Morella. Hey, Beth, how are you?
Max, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Uh, I kind of remember you, Beth, but if you want to share your experience for just a little bit on how far you've come with XI.
Yeah, sure. I started in 2018
Hmm.
and been pretty consistent with XI all the way through.
Yeah.
I participated in BTM,
Hmm.
uh, and then last year I took a year off, 18 days,
Yeah.
but the journey just continued on. I just didn't get a day off really.
Hmm.
Uh, I just took up July, and I had a session with you about a
Hmm.
month ago.
Yeah.
Uh, so I
That's
have a
beautiful.
couple, but I'd be interested to see what you read in me first.
Oh, absolutely. So again, your journey started, and I love the fact that you said you took some time off from XI, which is really fantastic. That's just basically like back in the day, tribal days, when people, when the youth came into, teenage years, and it's like they pushed them out into the jungle. It's like, hey, if you can survive that, then you're good to go. That's Buddha did that, by the way. He went out into the woods, and Jesus did that. He went out in the woods, came back, an awakened and confident, competent person to help the world. So that's what many people do, and that's what XI is about. It's not about me becoming a guru or anything like that, but it's about you standing on your own feet. So what I see, Beth, in you is that you're a hell of a lot more confident than ever before. You take on things. You just need some direction now. Just take a breath in. You're also, does that make sense to you so far?
Yeah, I've been feeling like it's go time since June.
Yep. Yep.
And
But you just don't know where to go. That's all. So, because there's what happens, Beth, at the level that you're at, again, you've eliminated a lot of those things that have held you back. Okay. Now, like you said, it's go time. So now it's like, but there's so many opportunities, I just don't know where to go. Okay. So at this level, um, let's start to eliminate opportunities and then filter or funnel you into, say, a direction that's, say, the best possible, say, outcome for you. Does that make sense? Is that okay for you?
yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. And then also, I see, Beth, that you're also starting to eliminate how you're aging. Okay. So this is how much control you have. Okay. And I caution you this, and it sounds great. It's like, oh, great, I'm taking back control. But then there's some notes to it. And I'll just tell you that in just a second. But take a breath in and just notice your, say, skeletal system, especially your ribs.
Mhm.
So this is where you are also starting to kind of compare yourself with your mom or your dad or anybody else in the family, and it's like, you know what, mom had this going on with her, and then you're going, I don't need to have that happen to me. Some of her health issues, or maybe dad's health issues. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, I have a lot with my spine at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if part of the process with me is I feel a lot on its way out, and this back thing has just gotten crazy. I've had
Yeah.
enough. I want
So
it
you
done.
took Okay, so you took the vaccine.
No, no, my spine. No, I didn't take the vaccine.
Oh, good, good. Oh, you said something about the vaccine. Okay.
Oh,
um Got it. Okay. Yeah, I see your spine, and that's why I'm asking you to take a look at your skeletal system. So, again, I'm not a doctor in any way or anything like that, but again, this is new technology. I'm just theorizing, and there's been enough field studies or people who have massively transformed their spine. And again, if you're one of them listening in, please comment in. It allows Beth to go, oh wow, this thing can change, because it creates that, say, physicalness of realities for you. So there's a reality that Beth doesn't have spine issues. Okay, so let's just shift you into that reality, and that's what I'm talking about. Your genetic makeup is, as you age, for example, the spine or your bone structure, it gets sort of, say, hollow or weak inside. I don't know what they call that, medical terminology, but basically that's what happens to you. So, and do you specifically have to, say, experience hereditary patterns? This is what I'm talking about. You really don't. You really don't have to, say, experience the same path as your parents did. Okay. You don't have to go through life and create, say, success or a relationship the way your parents did. I see your parents or your grandparents went through a lot of hardship. That makes sense for you? You don't have to go through that space either. Does that make sense or no?
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So take a breath in, huh? So the cautionary tale I was going to tell you is that, Beth, you're at a point, congratulations, that your thoughts become reality.
Right. So on that, a while ago, you said you'd be able to help me with materializing.
Yes.
So are we up to that now?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't remember what we talked about. Every session is fresh because that's how my abilities work. I don't get tainted with what I said in the past for you. So yes, so that's this cautionary tale, and it sounds really cool. But again, the key is that you need to focus in on what you want. Most people, you back in the day, focused in on, like, say, worrying on something. That makes sense to you? So if you're worrying about not making enough money, what are you going to materialize?
Not enough money.
Exactly. So I can't do that part for you. I brought you to this level. You've done a great job learning, how to do it all at a higher level beyond, say, the concepts of the mind. Now you need to practice and start focusing on what you want. Now, take a breath in again. And if some of you are on that path as well, this is again very, very highly, highly important. And things happen fast for you because the universe is changing. The world is changing rapidly. You're on, say, that you're on that wave. So you need to, say, look at, say, what's broken in your life. Okay, it'll give you direction. You'll need to look at what's broken in your life and then look forward into, okay, it's like, how do I get out of it? So it's like a GPS, right? It's like, I'm here now and this part of me is broken, say, like my spine is not, say, the healthiest. Okay, what are opportunities for my spine to be better? So you map a course, again, where you are, and then you look forward into where you want to go. And even if you don't know where you want to go, you go, what are the opportunities for my spine to heal, to be better? And then unknown or known, and then you'll gravitate into those realities or situations where your spine get healthier. In this scenario, your spine just gets stronger. But I would just suggest that you do some weight resistance on for you. Okay, and it'll start to pull in uh, um, yeah, the minerals that you need in your spine.
Another question.
Quickly.
In meditation, I've had 3 episodes now where I'm in a meditation and everything gets really like awake in a dream state.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm going through the sound barrier and everything's shuddering and
Mhm.
it's kind of a bit terrifying.
Yeah.
A man was there with me who I didn't know who he was, but he thought he was my partner. And I said, "What year is it?" And he said 2005.
Okay.
And
Yeah. So, dream states, and we'll move on to Morella. But Beth, dream states, it feels so real to you because you're basically cleaning out the past in your dream states. Okay,
uh,
not about the future, or anything like that.
yeah,
Um,
I
or it
just
could
think,
be the future, but you're cleaning, and again, you're resetting yourself. So the key for you, Han, is literally mind your mind. Okay, you have to harness your mind so it goes into the direction that you want to go. Just imagine yourself on a horse. Okay, that horse will go wherever it needs to go, so you need to direct it towards the direction that you need. Okay, so that takes discipline for you. All right, uh, we need to move on. We'll go to Morella, please.
Hello, Max.
Hi, Morella. How are you, hon?
I'm very happy to be here.
Good. Let's take a breath in, hon. Just notice your neck. If there's anything specific that you want to work on, do you have neck issues, by the way?
No, no, I don't have neck issues. I feel stuck. I feel like I need to do something and I don't know what to do. I'm confused. I've been in many spiritual paths, and since I was very, even I can say 6 years old, seven, I kind of knew the things that are happening today.
Mhm.
And a friend of mine introduced me to your work, and so
Mhm.
now I just don't know where I'm heading.
Yeah. So, Morella, take a breath in, hon. The reason why I ask about your neck, some people have neck issues. It could be neck issues in your family. Not sure. It seems like so. Or as you age, it seems like your neck gets more pronounced from what I'm seeing. Again, not a doctor, but this is where, people start to lean forward, when they age, and then their neck has to stand up. So it's kind of like this, you don't have to have that. Plus, your abilities that you have fantastic abilities, but then at the same time, they burden you. So the more you use your abilities, the more that you get burdened. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, well, I have abilities for art. I'm in art sales as well,
Okay.
and it's been stuck. I have not been able to sell, and I also have abilities for coaching and NLP and hypnosis. I love everything. I love to cook. There's so many things I've been doing in my life, and now I just don't know where I should focus.
Yep.
It's
So, yeah. So just like the last caller, again, a lot of possibilities open up for you with XI. So let's take a breath in. But again, with more success or more happiness or more whatever that you want physically, you're burdened by, so you're sacrificing yourself for what you want. That's the pattern that you're running. And it's literally shackles around your neck that I see, or a heaviness or a burden around your neck. Does that make sense for you or no?
Yeah, maybe. And also in my family, a lot of my parents went through the war in Italy. My father was Italian, my mother French, and there's a lot of scarcity things, money regarding stuff. I want to clear all those beliefs, limiting. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So again, that's the burdens around your neck that I'm talking about. It literally is like chains and shackles around you that when I see your frequencies, I see your beautiful face and all that. But again, what's happening is that there's shackles around you. So just like your parents, there was shackles, let's just say shackles around them because of scarcity, because of the war and so on like that. Those would be deemed as shackles, okay? The experiences that they've had. You, in this time of abundance, have brought, say, scarcity into your life. So the more abundant that you get, the more scarcity that you'll have in your life, if that makes sense for you. If you look at all the times that, say, you've been really, really happy, or again abundant, you're basically going, well, how do I keep this abundance going? And then it doesn't work out for you. It always eliminates. That makes sense for you. And then, or it's like you get scared of, say, losing that abundance, and then you want to hold on to that. Does that make sense for you? Okay. Like you'll have a relationship and it's like, gosh, what do I need to do to keep this relationship, say, going and healthy? And then what you do is you sacrifice yourself. You sacrifice your own and inner girls. A lot of women do that. Take a breath in. And then at the end, the relationship dies, for example, and then you're left with just an emptiness. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, I haven't had a partner for many years. I don't know. I also have issues with, the opposite sex. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Again, so everything comes with a heavy price tag, and that burden gets heavier and heavier as you age, basically. So let's take a deep breath in, hon. Do you mind if we remove the patterns or shackles around you?
Please do, Max. Eliminate everything.
So, so what you're doing on also is, and we all do this, by the way. Well, not ex-hires. We learn how to remove all this. But take a breath in. Just notice, again, you might even feel the heaviness around your neck or your shoulders. That makes sense. Or close your eyes. And you can do this in the audience as well. Just close your eyes and just notice if you have any shackles around you. It could be handcuffs, could be shackles, chains around your ankles. It could be around your neck, in your case, or I see kind of shackles on your ankles as well. So those are representations of basically what's happened in the past. Say again, your parents in the war, right? You've got the burden of war, you've got shackles around your feet. You can't do all those things that you want to do. You're held back, you're chained, right? That's in your genetic makeup. And then even if you're in a free world, so to speak, more free than what you were before, you'll start to say create shackles around you. So many individuals do this. Take a breath in, hon. Just notice your spine. Say that your parents came from war, right? There's a lot of sacrifice in war. And now, 5 generations later, you're very, and again, this isn't your story or could be, but many people do this. You're very prosperous, highly abundant, but then that abundance creates, say, a lot of sacrifice for you. So again, it's just that same pattern, just genetic patterns like carry over. So yeah, notice the front part of you, hon, as well. You have digestive issues?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Let's help clean that up as well. Do you have any questions, by the way, as we get close to the
I'm
end?
worried about my son. He's having issues with a partner and he can't see his daughter and he's going through hell right now. He's really suffering and he has like deficit attention disorder somehow. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So so for your son, and again, guys, if you want somebody to bring him in the beginning, but I'll continue to work on him in the mastermind group as long as you stay in this space, hon. So for your son, basically, he's running the burdens. You're physically seeing the burdens of life. Those burdens are, say, genetically instilled in him. You can remove that, but basically, he's running his grandfather's pattern or his great grandfather's pattern. Okay. You can't see his son. It's kind of like, again, kind of like attributes to shit, you're in war, people's families get split apart and so on like that. Right. The attention deficit is not, again, I'm not a doctor, but basically he runs his identity and then he runs his great grandfather's identity or his grandfather's identity. So he literally splits his time between personalities. You would have an attention deficit disorder. He actually has, and again, I would suggest a longer session so we can disconnect that from him. But he actually can go back, and if you get him, if he goes into the right state, he'll actually remember or recall whatever his grandfather or great grandfather went through. That's
My
how entangled they are. Does that make
father,
sense?
yeah. My
Yeah.
father had a son and he abandoned, yeah, his son and married my mother. Yeah.
Yep. So he's literally running the same pattern as, again, his grandfather. So, and it just cycles over and over. That's what I'm talking about. So with you, the shackles around your neck, it's just basically generation after generation after generation, that burden gets heavier for you. So what I was doing here is just removing all that for you. So you'll feel freer. How did that feel for you? You seem more lighter and more, say, focused, so to speak, not like being pulled. And then for your son, I just brought him in just to help him, say, separate his identity between him and, well, your father. Okay. And then you will start to see in your son that it's like, gosh, this is my life. And then he'll start to actually recall some of the experiences that your father had. And it's like, how did he know that? Well, it's because the two are entangled. So, which is really cool to watch. I would highly recommend doing the 18 days. That's coming up in September. And then bring your son in. Imagine your son meditating, not with you, but just imagine yourself meditating. And it'll work. I'll work on him through you. Okay.
Thank you. I'm already in the 18
Oh,
days.
awesome. Perfect. Perfect. How do you feel, by the way, right now?
I feel a bit lighter here.
Yeah, it's all the chains and shackles. Huh? That's just been removed. Generations and generations of worry and all that stuff just gone for you. So you'll really go forward really fast. We'll go to Corinne. All right. You're so welcome, honey. All right. Corinne, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Anything special that you want to work on? Let's work on your brain a bit.
Okay.
Um,
Can I bring in my two daughters, please?
okay. How old are your two daughters?
20 and 22.
20 and 22. Okay. They actually, your two daughters actually feel like they're one daughter. They're so, the three of you are kind of just like one identity. Does that make sense to you, Corinne? So basically, sometimes this happens if, well, where's the father, by the way?
They live at their father's house. I don't live with them anymore.
Okay. So, um, got it. So take a breath in. And you don't have to explain that if you don't want to. That's all cool. But let's see. In the past, Corinne, you three feel like one identity. So basically, what's happening is literally that. Say, if you have an issue, your daughters will have an issue, and it's really a heavy burden on them. Does that make sense to you? Because you're a lot older and they're younger, especially if they were like, like 4 and 6, your burdens or your say relationship burdens with their father, if I'm seeing it correctly, all those burdens the children absorb. Does that make sense to you? And then your problems, your adult problems become the girls' problems, basically. And again, children, that's a heavy burden on kids. So, and then what will happen for you, Corinne, is that take a breath in, hon, and notice your hip area. What you'll do as a loving mom is that you'll say, almost, no offense, hon, just like really love the kids or try to protect the kids even more so. Does that make sense to you? But then you just basically suffocate them because they can't grow and expand. You're cutting off their light. So that's why I see all three of you merge together. So in this session, you're actually wanting a separation of all those things. Okay. So it feels like you're afraid of losing them. That makes sense for you, right? You're afraid of losing them when they were younger. So again, this is how we say suffocate. And a lot of mothers do that with good intent, but it doesn't make for strong children. I see the two girls. One of them is very fearful or latches on to anything. So this isn't great for her because she'll latch on to, say, a man, a relationship, and then that person will start to take advantage of her, so to speak, because it's like, well, people do that, unfortunately. So that's a kind of relationship pattern that, well, basically you kind of ran when you, say, got attracted to your, the girl's father. So let's remove all that for you. Breath in. Did all that make sense for you, hon?
Yes.
Yeah. And then the lower part, I don't know if you have issues, the lower left part of your brain. Again, not a doctor. I'm just telling you what I see. Do you have issues with that? Um, do you have issues with, like, say, being focused?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of comes from this lower part of the brain from what I'm seeing. Again, I could be way off, but it's like, and again, just notice that area. You know how sometimes we're in the present moment, but we fade back into the past and we get stuck in the past. So we're always thinking of what happened in the past. Does that make sense for you? Okay. So the present moment just fades away and we start to, again, find ourselves recalling whatever happened in the past for us. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah. I've been working a lot for a long time to stay present and work for me, and then it takes me back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what happens, unfortunately, when we do that, we forget the past, and then what happens if we're forgetting and not, that's why it's so important being in the present moment. Just notice this left half of you, hon. So this left half of you goes back in time. It lives from the past. This part of you wants to stay in the present moment. So you kind of feel like, I don't know who or where I am at times, especially if you're quiet and alone, right? You just literally just like kind of fade away into nothingness, so to speak. Does that make sense for you?
It feels sometimes like a pull here or empty.
Yep. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying exactly, honey. So let's try to figure out who and what that is. Did somebody die when you were younger, hon? Like a grandma? Could be a
In my
grandfather.
teens,
Hmm?
in my teens, yeah.
In your teens? Okay. Yeah. Early teens, right? I feel you. Uh, I don't know how old you are, but you feel younger than your age. So emotionally, socially, you're younger than your age. Because again, you live in the past. How old are you? Do you mind me asking, hon? You don't mind? 53?
54. Yeah.
54? Okay. So you feel like you're in your like late 30s. So you're like emotionally stuck, like say 20 years ago. That makes sense for you. And this is where I say relationships don't work out. Your daughters, it messes up your daughters because it's like, shit, mom is enacting her age, so to speak. That kind of deal, right? So, so this started again when your grandmother or grandfather died in your say early teens, and even then they were holding you back. Whoever say again died, was it your grandmother, hon, that passed away?
They both, a grandmother and a grandfather.
Oh, they both passed away. Got
A
it.
great grandmother when I was pretty young,
Oh, that's
maybe
okay.
4 or 5. I don't know exactly.
Okay, so that's the one that I'm seeing that started this pattern. Okay, it's kind of strange, but what happens is that you're a young kid. Yeah, it makes more sense now. So you're a young kid. You're a young kid. You're vibrant and so on. Your great grandmother's going, gosh, she envies, your health and your vibrancy because she's dying. It's like, older people do that, right? They literally envy so much so that they literally say step out of their skin, their essence, their presence, and literally hold on to that child as they literally fade away from life, or as they die. They literally like reach for your soul and just like grab on, and it just pulled you off, basically. It sounds kind of crazy, but the results that you'll get is unbelievable for you. Okay. So again, sciencey people who listen to this, because I get a lot of sciencey people. It's like, well, that's not true. How can somebody pull that off? But again, you're people who think like that, they're just looking at it from this world perspective. But we need to look at the results of what happens for Corinne here. Okay. And then the results will tell you what I'm telling you is fact. Breath in. Um, yeah, I see a lot of sciencey people on the call, and they're going, "Well, how can that happen?" Well, there's a lot of science behind it, by the way. But let's just remove, just because of time. Let's quickly remove your great grandma and then your grandparents, and then also if your mom or dad is getting close to death as well, they're kind of encroaching in on you. So let's pull all that out. By the way, when you get older and cross over, whenever that is, take a breath in again, hon. Notice your heart. You basically do that to your daughters. Boom, boom. You see that genetic pattern? So I'm just ending it all that for you. Your daughters will feel unsure of themselves, which is really good because you're not supporting them in any way. Okay. She'll get more fearful. It's not for you to help her out. Let her just let her just mess up or whatever she needs to do on her own. And then in a very short time, she'll grow up and she goes, shit, I can stand on my own 2 feet, because that's what you want. And then that communication or connection or relationship will come back for you. Okay, hon? Did all that make sense for you? Yeah. How are you feeling, by the way? Do you feel more complete?
Yeah, it feels lighter on my head. And that was my fear about my daughters. I do realize what I did, but I could not change it, even though I tried. So thank you. Thank you.
You're so welcome, hon. Yeah, this will change everything for you, hon. I'd actually like to see you in a couple months as
Okay.
a revisit and see where you are and how you and your daughters have massively changed. It's really amazing how you'll see that. And it's literally a simple fix. If you know what you're doing. A lot of times people in life, guys, people in life, they just don't know what they're doing. They're good people, but they just don't know the solution. They know that there's a problem like Corinne did, but they just didn't know what they're doing. And it's like, gosh, I must be dumb. I must be this and that. No, we've got blinders on and there's all these possibilities that science doesn't even know about. And this is the new science that's coming up. So one of the ways to do that, again, is we've got this beautiful event in Ibiza coming up. Demi, if you can roll that video, and then we'll come back with Jessica here. Now imagine if you were an awakened spirit coming into this reality. So that's what this Ibiza event is really about. And well, this is the time of freedom now. So now is that breaking point for us. It literally is a time where space and time come together. It's a whole different pattern, not just for humans. It's nature, it's the planets. Again, it's a universal transformation. I think humans should join the party. The Ibiza is really special. There's a portal there. Many people experience it and feel it there. We're going to take that quantum jump forward into first principle consciousness. So that's what this Ibiza event is really about. Intimate morning meditations, daily gourmet lunch, daily dinner, private yacht to explore Ibiza, dancing parties, a lot of, say, adventures. Again, it's just going to be a great, fantastic time. Really nurturing who we are as beings. Not because we deserve it. We already know we deserve it. We're free from that. We can start to create a whole new pattern. So it's our choice. We can either go down that road and get shackled again, or we can go, you know what, this new direction that we could have been on, that we should have been on, now it's open to us again. So let's just say that, humans have been, say, held back decades or maybe even hundreds of years, right? In London, what we're going to do is we're going to take that quantum jump forward into where we should have been. This world, this is an opportunity for having it all. Years ago, I was predicting that, there's going to be a whole new paradigm coming through. And now, so everything's unleashed. Everything's broken. The barriers have been broken, the chains and shackles that have been tied to us have been broken, and that's the changes that we've gone through over the past couple of years. So look at you. Look how many generations back. Look at the world. So again, what are you going to do? How are you going to expand? How are you going to enhance who you are? And it's not about what you're doing, by the way. It's how awakened are you? If you're awakened, you're going to create massive value, more value than, say, again, putting your time in and time out. So this event is really a big kickoff for a lot of things. So if you are that individual who is ready to go, who is ready to be complete, who is ready to really fully realize their potential, guys, this event is for you. And again, at the Science Museum, it's going to be an intense, transformative 2-day workshop. Saturday. So this is a separate event, but still in London. We're going to connect with Baramji. He puts into music Rumi's teachings. It's going to be just a cool night just to get into, say, the possibilities of who you are. So again, quantum leaping, London, UK event, a lot of great possibilities coming up, and you're going to just quantum jump into that. We are back. This is Master Jadi, and if you just joined us, we're on impact sessions where we're transforming lives in just say a few minutes. It's amazing. So sit back, relax, get comfortable. Hopefully you watch the Ibiza intro. It's going to be an amazing event, guys. This is where we really transform and take back our power of who we are as a feminine and as a masculine, and again, start to transform the world. All right, so we are on Jessica. Jessica, how are you?
Hey, Mom.
I'm doing really well. Your experiences with XI thus far?
Yeah, I have been with long
Okay.
time, Mom. I've done several 18 couple private sessions and see where
Okay.
and I do have a few.
On what you see.
Okay. I see that you've literally recreated your life as a whole. That makes sense for you? It's literally so how long has it been since you started XI?
I feel like I've been with you forever.
Yeah.
Probably since
Well, it's
like,
timeless.
yeah, yes, you've been in my life for a while.
Okay. So it just seems within that, say, short while, though, it's a while, it's a very short while, but it's like lifetimes of transformation from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Key point, right? If you think back of yourself, even like say 6 months or a year ago, it's like, gosh, that person, I can't believe that person was me, because you've shifted so much. Does that make
That's
sense?
awesome. Yes, but I feel unsettled. I don't know if I'm at the tip of this bigger picture that I just can't feel and see yet, but
Yeah. So take a breath in, just notice your lower back, hon. So you're part of the group that, again, has created this new identity, and you're waiting for the world to say catch up.
that
Right?
makes sense.
And that's the unsettlement that you have, is because what you're seeking hasn't arrived yet.
Okay.
Okay, the possibilities that you're searching for, or the career, or whatever it is, the opportunities that's coming up, isn't here yet. So it's like you're like a kid at Christmas, kind of like waiting for your present, and this is where you're excited and unsettled at the same time, because it's like, okay, when is it coming? When is it coming? That kind of scenario for you. Does that make sense for you?
It does. It makes complete sense. I've always struggled with love and relationships. I feel like you may remember these. I just started recently seeing someone, and I'm kind of scared to.
Yep.
I'm excited about it, but also like, is this just going to be another one of those learning lessons?
Right.
Or
Yep. So take a breath in, and again, just notice your lower back. So let's help create Jessica to be a strong feminine, right? Okay. So again, the unsettling is that you are going to be unwrapping more of yourself in the near future, right? And things show up very, very differently. This is where you step back into life. This is not just about saying a new relationship for you. This is like a new identity of who you are. So this is a great opportunity for you to say settle in to that powerful version of again who Jessica is. So this is also where you can materialize things. So you can focus in, say, on the weaknesses or the fear, or you can use that fear to go, okay, this is what I did in the past, and you can use that fear as, say, a motivator to push you towards the direction that you want to go, rather than in the past. I think, and I can't quite read you well, which is really good, because it feels so long ago for you, your old self. That's why I can't, we just don't have time. I mean, I could access it, but we just don't have time, which is really cool for you as well, because then this is where I would say your genetics will change. You're not aging like your parents. You'll stay more youthful as you age, which is really cool. So you have a whole, say, opportunity come in for you. It's almost like you're a teenager with, say, your life ahead of you. I don't know how old you are, but obviously not a teenager, but you feel like a teenager with your whole life ahead of you. Okay. The couple of keys that I'm working on is one, allowing you to, say, calibrate yourself or get yourself even more ready. So when the timing hits, which is in the next 3 months, things start to come into you. Okay.
Okay.
So you'll be really, really ready and optimal for you to take advantage of it. Two, just creating more, say, confidence in you or more deserving patterns in you from what I'm seeing, like back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, you've eliminated those, by the way, but now you just need to prove it to yourself that you're more deserving. So more actionable items. So you'll get into situations where you'll feel non-deserving.
Okay.
That
Okay.
makes sense for you?
Yeah, because I feel like I'm such a nomad too. I've been traveling between like Wisconsin and Florida, living here, living there. Like I don't have a home, really. I mean,
yeah, that's actually really good because for you, Jessica, once you settle in, you 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 morph into that environment, so to speak.
okay.
Okay. So your higher self has kept you moving, so you can't say identify yourself with the surroundings. Okay.
Yeah.
Like in the
Okay.
past, like if you say went with a group of people, you'd morph into that group of people and you
Yep.
lose your identity. Okay. So the reason why you're a little hesitant with this relationship is like, shit, this is what I'm talking about. You know, it's like, God, am I going to lose my identity? Okay. This is what you're hesitant about because you've created this beautiful identity and now you want to keep it, you want to perpetuate it, and you don't want to, distort it. Take a breath in, huh? Just notice again your midsection there, your hips. Yeah, your hips. Um, did somebody break a hip or have hip issues in your genetics? In your
No,
parents? Okay.
not that I know of.
Okay. I just see I see hip issues, not you, but somebody in your family having hip or bone structure issues. They
Okay.
might like have walked slower. Um, um, yeah, or one hip feels bigger than the other. I don't know if that's you or somebody
Hmm.
else, but check.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check on that. Yeah.
ask your mom or your grandmother, ask your mom about, the grandmother, and you'll go, oh, yeah, grandma so and so had, oh, somebody had a hip replacement from what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay.
And I
Oh,
know about it, but it's good to ask your mom or dad about, their parents.
yeah.
Okay. And the importance of that is not to prove me right, but basically it's like, well, shit, how did Moss know that? And then and then you see it, go, oh yeah, grandma had a hip replacement. She fell and she had a hip replacement. And then the importance of that is like what I'm tapping into makes it real for you. And then you start tapping into that same, say, database for you. And then
Okay.
so your intuition basically peaks and your intuition say expands for you. Take a breath in. There we go. So one, you're coming on to the stage of your life. Okay. As people come on to the stage of your life, just like you're going to get nervous a little bit because it's it's a new act for you. Okay. So take your relationships day by day. Okay. And then at night, I would say review anything that happened, good or bad, in that relationship, and then edit it. Go, okay. If you didn't like something in that relationship, for example, just notice your heart space, your solar plex area here. If you didn't like something in that relationship, ask yourself, it's like, okay, what pattern in me allowed that to happen? Okay. And then you start to go, and then you command yourself to go, okay, I don't need that pattern. Okay. So you'll start to see some of the things that you didn't like in relationships. In
Okay.
this relationship that you're having. It doesn't mean that relationship is going to go sour or go back. It's literally a learning relationship for you to make the changes, because I can't do that for you. I can only help you see the changes that's coming up. That makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Okay. So be very selective, be very, say, particular. If you don't like something, it's not about that person. It's basically something in you that's still running that basically says you need to get rid of that. So
Okay.
that's what's happening for you, which is really, really exciting, by the way. So congratulations, on nice job.
Thank you so much, Moss. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much, on nice job. We'll go to Sonia. Hello. Oh, you'd have to unmute, huh? There you
No,
go.
I'm taking it off. Yeah. Hi.
Hey.
Hey,
So how are you doing? Is it Sonia or
it's Sonia.
Sonia? Okay. So anything special that you want to work on? Masculine patterns?
Sure, if that's what you see.
Yeah. It just seems again, you're beautiful and everything, but it's like you get dominated by a masculine pattern. That makes sense to you?
Yeah. So you don't see me as a masculine pattern?
Um, you would look like a weak female to me, although
Hmm.
you might project yourself as a strong, say, confident woman on
Okay.
the outside. On the inside, you say, I would say you run from fear.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Sure. That's
Okay.
good.
Well, did that make sense or?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. So take a breath in. So think of it this way. And again, a lot of guys run this way. Say they're very insecure on the inside, okay, or running from fear on the inside. And then on the outside, they project, say, a wolf scenario. Okay. Well, kind of like Andrew Tate, so to speak. Again, very insecure on the inside, a lot of highly successful men and women. Um, well, for example, Marilyn Monroe, very insecure on the inside, but she's like, no, that's not me. This is who I really am. But again, it creates a split and a divide for you. So you kind of run not those extreme patterns, but if you were to become successful, for example, you would be in that same boat as them. So basically, your motivating factor is that there's an insecure, scared little girl trying to, say, protect herself as she's gotten older. Does that make sense for you?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. So take a breath, notice your belly button area, that groin area. And this is where maybe relationships, you kind of feel dominated by them. You might not agree with me, but basically you're always pushing for your right to, say, you're always pushing back. Does that make sense? Like this, like you're here and this wall of masculine dominance is falling on you, so to speak. And then you have to like get stronger or masculine, so to speak, a bit to push back. Does that make sense to you? Or assertive? You would.
Yeah, it does. Can I ask if the person who might represent the wall needs to be male?
No, it could be a masculine female.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make sense to you?
Mhm.
Yeah. So take a breath in. Yeah, it's not about, sexual identities, it's about frequencies. So
Oh, no, this is family.
yeah,
I'm straight. I'm just not
yeah.
in a
No,
relationship.
I know you're straight, but I'm just saying it's not about a man or a woman, it's masculine frequencies. So it could be like a dominating female that runs a masculine pattern. That's my point. Does that
Okay,
make
thank
sense?
you.
Great.
Yeah.
So take a breath in again, huh? By the way, that then so so basically this wall's basically falling on you, and then you start to get crushed under it, and then over time you go, oh shit, the only way I can save myself is to turn into a masculine person. Get it? And then as you age, you start to become more and more masculine. This is why the females in your family turn more and more masculine. They start to get masculine features as they age. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, they're not as soft, they get harder, might even get like more broader shoulders, for example, so to speak. I see some women with broad shoulders in your family. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Me. I'm the only one with broad shoulders in my family.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the only one. There's like maybe an aunt or, maybe back in the day that you don't know about. Again, so basically you're getting ready to turn into, say, a masculine presentation of yourself. So because again, as that wall falls on you, it's like shit. The only way to save myself is push back the same way, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
I think my dad was like that with
Yep.
me.
Yep. So, oh, that's okay, cool. Because again, I see frequencies, not, physical representations. Take a breath in. Your dad was okay. So this is where it gets really messed up. Okay, not for you, but I'll explain later. Yeah, your family's not as bad, but this is where your dad was just overtaken by his mom, whether it's through love or he took care of her, so to speak, but he basically turned into a feminine frequency. That makes sense for you? So he would have to show an aggressiveness or an assertiveness over the females in his family to show that he's a man. Does that make sense for you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what culture are you from?
A Pakistani.
Oh, okay. That's even more like cultures of that nature, Middle Eastern, whatever. The man has to be dominant, so to speak. If that makes sense. Or the females, especially, although at a deeper level, at some, their mom, no offense, in that culture, our culture is very similar. A lot of times there's a feminine patriarch that dictates or controls the man, and then the man has to show up, so to speak, bigger. Does that make sense? It really messes things up, by the way. Breath in.
Really did.
Yep. So let's remove all that stuff. So
Yeah.
again, this is where that scared little girl comes in, because you're scared of your father, so to speak, in this
Scared of
scenario.
everyone, including my sister, as a child. Yeah.
Yep. Yep, as a child. So what you did is like, well, I'll get successful. I'll do this. So you do all the right things on the outside as a facade, okay? But then you're still that scared little child. So what I was helping you with, Sonia, is really cool, is that say that strong, confident woman that you look like on the outside, which is again fantastic, because that's a perfect role model for this young child that's going to grow into that strong, confident woman. So you've done the first half, okay, which is really great. So what you're going to do is you're going to reparent yourself. So take a breath in, and we all can do this together, guys. Take a breath in and notice yourself as that young girl. So your current age, and you're looking back to that young girl that you were. Okay. What age frame would that be? What age range?
I'm gonna go 4 and 5.
Yep.
Maybe 6 and 7, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I was actually seeing six-ish. So perfect. Okay. So look at that young child, look how you acted and behaved and so on like that. Okay. All that child or that identity of yourself is looking to say, you know what? It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So just imagine, and you can do it now or you can do it later, but either way, that younger versions of you will come out. All they need to know is that it's okay, and you just love them and imagine hugging them. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So take a breath in, close your eyes, and just do that. And you all do that as a group as well. I've got you on the back end because it's not just a mental state. And notice how easy that comes for you. It's XI visuals are different in that it's a gauge, not a goal. So as I'm helping you, basically the visual is basically a guide or a visual on how I'm helping you rewire yourself. So you can nurture that young self, which creates a domino effect. And then instead of splitting yourself apart, you're merging yourself, or you're expanding yourself into a strong, young, confident, competent woman that you are. There we go.
Not young, but I'll take it.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
You feel a lot younger. That's the good part of it. So we'll clean up. We'll keep that part of you. By the way,
Keep that part of me, please.
yeah. So you stay youthful, because you definitely don't look like you're 49. Again, you're locked in your mid 30s because, again, it's kind of like dragging you back again. The benefit is that you look a lot younger, so that part of you will keep, but then the wisdom and so on like that will push that forward for you. Okay, so this is where people become timeless again through, you know, the frequency spas and the 18 days that's coming up. Breath in again, just notice yourself. How are you feeling?
Really good. I have pain in my, what is this? My right hand side, in my right hand kind of heart breast area, I guess, which I didn't have before. But otherwise, I'm feeling good.
Yeah. So as you come into your body, oh, by the way, sometimes being female and you're a scared young girl, that makes sense. You're afraid of, say, being female or showing that you are female. That makes sense for you.
I don't know if it does. Oh, yep, yes. When I was younger, I did cut all my hair off.
Yep. So you wanted to be, because it's just safer to be masculine looking or not as attractive, because you might get abused or taken advantage of, or it's not your identity of being a female is not strong, so to speak. That makes sense for you.
It just wasn't allowed in my family, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. And then around that age, you know, you start showing feminine features and so on like that, and then it's not allowed, you know, all again, that's that dominant. So yeah, so a lot of females go through that, by the way. And again, it's because of a overprotective father. Because if you too pretty, then, you know, a lot of things can happen to a pretty woman, basically. Get it? So what do they do? Especially an overprotective father. They're just like, no way. And then they force that masculinity on you. There's another way to protect yourself, though. So a lot of things will happen. Your body structure will probably shift for you into more you're feminine, but more female, basically. Breath in. There you go. And again, over the short few days or week, a lot of these younger versions of yourself, like when you cut the time you cut your hair or whatever happened to you in your, say, early 30s, all those identities will merge into a strong identity, and you'll learn and you'll expand and you'll look at yourself as like, gosh, I'm a really beautiful female. And you'll know what being female is without all the abuse patterns and the, you know, the oppression patterns that females are, men as well, but we're talking about females here. So there we go.
Thank you.
Yep. And this is where the confidence on the outside and the confidence on the inside drive each other. And it's a really beautiful state for like business women, even like CEOs, masculine, you know, men. This is where that completeness comes in, and you know, you become, say, the powerhouse in the boardroom or whatever that you do, you know. So it's really amazing. So all right, hon, nice job.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. All right, guys, wonderful. A lot of great comments. Life will never be the same. Absolutely. Because once you start to awaken, it's amazing how people can transform, guys. It really is amazing. And what's really cool is as the world awakens, you know, there's a deep calling deep within us to become who we really are naturally inside, right? The grandness that, however you define God, is created for us, or that intelligence that has created us, you know, our essence or our presence or our potential. This is the time that we can say, take back that potential. Do that, you know, we need to become exponentially intelligent. All right, guys. So a lot of good things coming up. The 18 days, by the way, starts on September 5th. So if you haven't taken a look at that, take a look at that. It's really a great way to say transform your life in the 18 days, especially with what's going on in the world. And then and subscribe to this channel, guys, so we can create that momentum to save the humans, so the planet can be a much better place for the future. Peace, guys. Notice what you notice. Notice those details. And if you don't like those details that you're seeing, change.